everyone. So today we're going to make some spring Easter crafts. I got this at the Dollar Tree. I don't like the fake glittery stuff on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of that off. I'm going to take the welcome sign off because it was just paper. That's weird for the Dollar Tree lately. But anyway, I'm just going to take the green and the orange all off and we're going to go from there. Okay, now that we have that all off, I took it outside and gave it a coat of black spray paint. Now I'm just taking this piece of scrap burlap, and there's a little ridge in there, so I'm just following along on the ridge, cutting some of the excess off, and we're going to attach that. Once I get it all trimmed up, we're going to put some Mod Podge on there. Here's the Mod Podge. Going to give it a good liberal coat of Mod Podge and lay that down in there, and we're going to give it a little bit of coat of Mod Podge on the top. I didn't do too much because it was just coming through. There we go. Now I'm just going to trim off the excess. It's on there really good, and we're going to just let that dry. While that's drying, I'm going to take this yarn I got at Michael's. I thought it was a pretty orange color. I cut the little stick out things off. I don't know, the little ridges off the carrots, and I'm just wrapping it around the carrot at the top and at the bottom, giving it a little bit of glue just to hold it in place. Cutting some more of that plastic off. We don't need the tabs on the carrot to hold it on because we're gluing it. And there we go. So we got the top half done. We're just going to go around all of them. Here I am cutting the tabs off again. We don't need those. Now that we've got the top and the bottom halves of the carrots wrapped in the yarn, we're going to take some twine and we're going to do the greenery tops. This will give something for the greenery to stick to, and it'll cover up the black and orange. When that's done, I thought that the middle needed something else, so I had this pretty orange polka dot ribbon from the Dollar Tree. And I just cut off a length of it and glued it straight down the middle of the burlap, wrapped it around and glued it onto the back. It gave it a little bit more of a pop of color. And then we're going to take some of this greenery that we have, and right now I'm just kind of seeing where it should go. But I tucked it underneath the yarn at the top and then glued it on to the twine we used to wrap the tops of the carrots. So it kind of hides everything and gives a little color, a little bit of realism. And then we're just going to glue those down. I had enough. I think these were picks from Christmas. I had enough to do the two end carrots, and then I had to use a different one in the middle. But they kind of all blend together, so it works. Whatever you have, use what you have. I know it makes my husband happy when I use up what I have instead of buying new stuff. So here we are just doing the last top of the carrot, and we're just going to glue those down. I got smart and started using a chopstick to help me so I don't burn my fingers. And then we're just going to fluff it out and fix the yarn. The last thing we have is this welcome. I took this from a different project I had taken apart, and we're just going to glue that down to the middle. And all we have left to do is put a hanger on it. Oh, and I made some ribbons too, I forgot. I made these cute little ribbons out of this gingham, orange gingham. I'm just going to make a little bow, trim them up, and put them at the top where the greenery meets the carrot. It helps hide the where I tucked it under the yarn too. I hate bows. I never have good luck with bows. So when I get them to be like even halfway close to decent, I just call it a day. There's our 3 bows for the tops of the carrots. I'm just going to glue them down. And now we're going to make the hanger for it. Just tie it in a knot, just some twine and tie it in a knot. And it's a nice hanger for your door or the wall, whatever you want for Easter. And here it is complete. I hope you guys like this one. On to number 2. for our second spring Easter one, I had this egg from last year. I had taken the rabbit off to use for another project. So I'm just peeling off the paper on the front. It was already starting to peel anyway, so we don't want it to come off when we're working. Finally got all that off, and I have this piece of paper. Now it wouldn't fit squarely, so what I did was I turned it diagonally. Now I'm using some Mod Podge to give it a good coat because we want it to stick down. We don't want it moving around. So I'm just going to give it a coat of Mod Podge, and then we're going to put the paper on and see it just fits if you put it diagonally. Now I'm just pressing it down, making sure, set that off to the side. I got this at Dollar Tree this year. It's a little metal hanging. I thought it was really cute, but I wanted to use it for this project, so I cut the jar off, the mason jar part. Now I'm just trimming the paper off. Oh, I put some wooden blocks on the back. I used some hot glue, but I ended up using E6000 to hold them on better. Now I'm just trimming the paper off the egg, and we're going to put the mason jar down on there. I'm going to just use some hot glue to hold it down. I think the mason jar goes perfectly with that paper. Now the rest of this little hanging that I got at the Dollar Tree, little metal hanging, this didn't work. So I used hot glue to hold it down thinking that would work. It didn't work. I end up going back and using E6000 to give it a more permanent hold. I don't think I showed that part because I was pretty much finished the project and it wasn't holding, so that's when I decided to use the E6000. Now I cut one of the flowers off and I cut the bee off and I glued them to the front of the mason jar. Now I'm taking some of these flowers that I already had. I'm pretty sure you can still get these at Dollar Tree. They're all Dollar Tree flowers. And I'm just going to use some of the purple and white ones, some of the greenery, the boxwood greenery, and I'm just going to arrange the flowers. And there it is, the flowers are arranged. Now when it was done, I didn't like the red because the red didn't really go with the rest of the Easter egg. So I'm just giving that a little coat of paint, setting it off to dry, and I have some flowers that I can put on top of it. Now this was ribbon I got this year at the Dollar Tree. This is also Dollar Tree ribbon, and what we're doing is just making a messy bow. This is more Dollar Tree ribbon. I think it's all Dollar Tree ribbon. I don't think I used anything from like Joann's or Michael's or anything. So I just thought I would use the colors that were on the project, and I cut even lengths of them all, 2 pieces each, and then I dovetailed them. I always have a problem dovetailing too. Like I said, I hate bows. But then I just laid them across, crisscross one another, and then I scrunched them together. I can't remember what I used. Oh, I used a zip tie. I used a zip tie to hold them in the middle. Pulled it tight, not too tight yet, just fluffed them out. And then when I got them where I wanted, I pulled it tight, cut the end off. The blues were a little too long, so I ended up trimming them. Let's get past the trimming. Once we get past the trimming, I dovetailed them again. After fussing with that bow all that time, here it is completed. We're just going to glue it right to the top of the Easter egg there. Now I'm taking just a poke. I'm poking a hole where the hole was through the paper. And we're just taking a piece of twine and making a knot for a hanger. Nothing fancy on the hanger. And here, since the paint was dry, I used one of the blue flowers from the Dollar Tree and put it on top. And this is complete. I didn't like this one at first, but the more I looked at it, the more I liked it. I actually hung this one on my front door. I hope you guys like it. For this project, we're going to do some string art. It'll be a nice spring type project to work on. So this board is about 10 by 10 and maybe a little smaller than that. But anyway, I'm right here, I'm measuring just to make sure that it's centered in the middle of the board. Even though the paper and the board are off a little bit, it is centered. So we're going to take this piece of wood, which my husband had a piece of wood from Lowe's, and he just cut me a small section off of it for me. Taking some of the antique wax, and we're just going to give it, I'm going to give it a coat on all sides, even the back, and we're going to make sure we get the front covered real good, and then we're going to work on the sides, and then when it dries a little bit, we're going to flip it over and work on the back, just in case I put it up on something where you can see the back. Now I have this clip art that I just got off the internet. It was free clip art. I have it all taped down. We're centered. And I'm taking some of these nails that I got from Lowe's. I think they were like $2 a box. It's really cheap. They're like copper colored, so I thought that would stand out really good. I think I used them once before in another project. Now I'm just taking the hammer and I'm just using my finger to space the nails out. It gets a little confusing where the leaves join together, but it all works out in the end. So you can see right there that we are just going down the middle of the dark line and hammering it in. And this is at the very end. I was using some little pliers there, needle nose pliers, to get into the tight spaces. And right now I'm just straightening them out if they were crooked. I'm going to take the paper off. This gets a little, the paper actually sticks in some of the nails, so I ended up having to use the pliers to get the paper off. So here's our string art with the nails all in. We're going to start using the cross stitch floss. Now I have this nice terracotta color that I'm going to use for the pot. And right now I am just doing the outline of the top part of the pot, going back and forth on all of the nails at the top. And then I'm going to go around the nails, and I just kind of weave it. Oh, well, no, I didn't. I'm filling in the middle right now. I'm going to fill in the middle, and then we're going to do the outside. Sorry about that. So right now, just going to fill in the middle until I think it looks good. You just, if you're going to do this project, you just do what you want to do. Put as much and little as you want. You can go randomly, or you can make a pattern. It doesn't really matter. It's just what you like. And here I am just finishing off the terracotta color. Now I'm taking some more of the terracotta and filling in what I thought were blank spots. We're just going to fill it in until I get it to where I think it looks good. Like I said, you do what you like. And there we are. We're going to just tie it off in a knot, and we're going to cut the excess string off. So we got our pot filled in. We're going to start on the leaves now. I have all these different colors. I have colors from like years ago, and then I bought some new colors at Joann's, Rip Joann's. But here we go. We're just going to start with this first leaf on this green color, and we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to go back and forth and fill in the middle part until it's filled in to where you like it. And there's our first leaf done. I think it's filled in pretty good. It's tied off. And then we're just going to go on and do the rest of them. And there's the rest of them all filled in with the different color greens that I bought. And sorry, I'm out of, there we go. We're back in center there. So now I'm taking this black, and what I did was I split it. Instead of having a full 6, the floss comes in 6. So the strand, each strand is 6 strands. So what I did was split it into 3. So it wouldn't be so heavy of a black outline for the for the leaves. And then I am just going around, and I am going back and forth, going on the outside and then filling down the middle to give it definition. And then tying it off and working on the next leaf. So here I am, I'm just finishing up with the black and cutting off the ends, and I'm taking my glue gun, and where I tie the knot, I'm just putting a little dab of glue just on the knot and pressing it down in there so that the string holds and it doesn't come undone. But that's just a little extra. You don't need to do that if you tie a good knot, but I was just being cautious, I guess. So here we are. It's complete. I guess I missed the part where I did the outline of the pot, but I used a lighter orange color for the terracotta. I don't know whether I'm gonna just lean this against on a shelf against the wall or put a hook in it. So for right now, I just left it alone. And here is the completed project. I hope you guys like this one. You can do a whole bunch of different ones. There's a whole bunch of clip art. For this project, we're going to make a wreath. This is a 14-inch ring from the Dollar Tree. This is 3 yards of material from Joann's. I think it was like $2 for everything. So get there while you can, if you can, to get some of this fabric. We're going to cut it into 22-inch sections. So it's a square, 22-inch square. And I think, I don't remember how many I got out of the 2 yards. But this little piece right here was the remnant of it. Put that aside for another project. Now we're going to take a measuring stick and we're going to make a diagonal. Just going to draw it right on there. And then we're going to cut them in half. And then because the fabric was folded in half, I have to cut this side too. So I think each of these made like 8, if I remember correctly. And we're just going to cut them all. Now that we have all our triangles cut, we're going to take some of the Dollar Tree zip ties, and I'm going to start on the inner ring, and I used 5 on the inner ring, and then okay, so then you take the triangle and you take it from the widest part of the base and you kind of just scrunch it up together and meet in the middle, and then you put that into the zip tie and you pull it down tight. You don't have to pull it tight the whole way until you're certain that you have as much fabric in there as you want in there, but it's about an inch of fabric, I guess, that sticks out at the end. We're going to go all the way around. So it's 5 on the inner circle, and then I skipped the middle circle and went to the 3rd ring and did 7. I got that all done all the way around. Now this is just a piece of cardboard that I measured to fit in the middle of the wreath, and this is just some brown fabric that I got at the Remnants in Joann's. I put it down in the middle and I cut little slits around it so we could hot glue it all the way around, and that way it wouldn't bunch up. So it's nice and flat. Now we're going to put that right in the middle. We're going to take some of the Dollar Tree nautical rope and we're just going to glue that on the edge. We're going to go all the way around the edge of the cardboard that has the brown fabric on it. That'll help hold the fabric down, and it'll also help hold the zip ties and help hide the zip ties in the middle of the wreath. So we're just going to use some hot glue and the nautical rope and go all the way around. We're going to cut that off and we're going to glue the end down. Then we're going to take that, we're going to put it right in the middle and use some hot glue, and we're just going to go right where the zip ties show and use some hot glue, and we're going to glue it right to the zip ties and press it down. And I checked it, so I checked it to make sure that it was glued all the way around. Now I'm just fluffing it out, and this one's done. And here's your sunflower that you can hang on your front door for the summer. Okay, so this one's a pretty big project, so you're not going to see a lot of it on camera. This frame, was like 36 by 24, so I can't get it all on camera. This is metal that you use for like a heater grate for the inside. The frame was like $5 from Hobby Lobby on sale. These were some flowers from Joann's and a grapevine wreath from Michael's. So what I want to do is put the metal framework on the frame. And I used a staple gun to do this. My husband helped me cut it so we could get it right. And then I just used some staples and went around the back side of the frame with the staples. Now I'm just taking these flowers from Joann's and just going around this grapevine wreath. This project was really fast. So I'm just using some of the zip ties to hold the flowers into place on the grapevine wreath. We're just going to go around we're not going to put a whole bunch, we're just going to put 5 or 6 of them and make sure that they are secured to the back. Now that we have the bigger flowers evenly spaced out, I thought maybe some of the little white flowers in between each would look nice. So I'm just taking some of the Dollar Tree floral and cutting the flowers off of them and sticking them down and just using some hot glue to hold them in place. And we're just about finished with those. One more little section here. And we are done with that. So I think that gave it a little bit more cohesiveness. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center to put the grapevine wreath on, and I'm going to use some zip ties and zip tie it down to the metal grate. Then I have this welcome sign, and I forget where I got this. It was in my stash, so I think it might have been the Dollar Tree. It's a really nice wooden sign, pretty large too. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on there, and I'm going to put it at the top of the frame here. And this one is done. I'm going to put this one on my front porch and kind of just lean it against the wall. And here are the 5 projects from spring. I hope you guys like this one. If you do, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you guys try them out. And if you would like, drop a comment which one you like the best. Thanks. Until next time. Bye.